Good afternoon. You are watching Rajya Sabha television. I'm Smriti Rastogi with Midday News. Let's begin the bulletin with the top headlines. South Korea, an important partner in India's economic transformation, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi after summit-level talks with President Moon Jae-in in Seoul. India and South Korea ink 7 agreements on trade, investment and security. Prime Minister Narendra Modi receives South Korea's prestigious Seoul Peace Prize. Citation praises his contribution to economic growth and global peace. Prime Minister dedicates award to all Indians. Supreme Court directs top state administration of 11 states to take preventive action against assault and social boycott of Kashmiris. Order comes after incident of violence against Kashmiris after Pulwama attack. President and Vice President preside over anniversary celebrations of charitable organization Swarna Bharat Trust in Nellore. Vice President calls for inclusive development for India's growth. President lauds Vice President's dedication to social service. And concrete measures on sex abuse at church needed. Pope Francis tells Vatican summit suggests 21 proposals to fight the abuse and punish predators. Urges bishops to listen to the cry of little ones seeking justice. Our top focus this afternoon, India and South Korea signed 7 documents in the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Moon Jae-in in Seoul today. These include agreement between Korean Broadcasting System and Prasar Bharati on cooperation in broadcasting to facilitate the broadcast of DD India channel in South Korea and KBS, a world channel in India. An MOU between Korean National Police Agency and Home Ministry on combating transnational crime and developing police cooperation to take forward the counter-terrorism cooperation was signed. Another agreement on startup cooperation to promote collaboration among startups and to set up a Korea Startup Center in India to commercialize technologies and designs of startup companies was agreed upon. And an agreement between National Highways Authority of India and Korea Expressway Cooperation to promote bilateral cooperation in road and transport infrastructure development projects of India was also signed. Both leaders held constructive talks on enhancing bilateral cooperation in key areas including trade, investment, defense and security. Addressing the media after the talks with President Moon Jae-in, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that South Korea is an important partner in India's economic transformation.
2030 तक हमारे द्विपक्षीय व्यापार को बढ़ाकर $50 बिलियन तक ले जाने के लक्ष्य के प्रति अपना कमिटमेंट दोहराया है। इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, पोर्ट डेवलपमेंट, मरीन और फूड प्रोसेसिंग, स्टार्टअप्स और स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस जैसे सेक्टर्स में हम अपना सहयोग बढ़ाने पर सहमत हैं। हमारी बढ़ती सामरिक साझेदारी में रक्षा क्षेत्र की अहम भूमिका है। इसका एक उदाहरण भारतीय थल सेना में K9 वज्र आर्टिलरी गन के शामिल होने में देखा जा सकता है। रक्षा उत्पादन में इस उल्लेखनीय सहयोग को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए हमने डिफेंस टेक्नोलॉजी और को प्रोडक्शन पर एक रोडमैप बनाने के लिए भी सहमति की है और इसके अंतर्गत हम भारत में बनाए जा रहे डिफेंस इंडस्ट्रियल कॉरिडोर्स में कोरियाई कंपनियों की भागीदारी का भी स्वागत करेंगे। राष्ट्रपति मून के संवेदना और समर्थन के लिए, उनके इस संदेश के लिए और अभी भी उन्होंने इस बात का जिक्र किया, मैं इसके लिए हृदय से उनका आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। हम आतंकवाद के खिलाफ अपने द्विपक्षीय और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सहयोग और समन्वय को और अधिक मजबूत करने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध है। आज भारत के गृह मंत्रालय और कोरिया की राष्ट्रीय पुलिस एजेंसी के बीच संपन्न हुआ एमओयू हमारे काउंटर टेररिज्म सहयोग को और आगे बढ़ाएगा और अब समय आ गया है कि वैश्विक समुदाय भी बातों से आगे बढ़कर इस समस्या के विरोध में एकजुट होकर कार्रवाई करें।
Prime Minister was accorded an official reception at the Blue House, the executive office and official residence of the South Korean president. Earlier, the Prime Minister attended the wreath-laying ceremony at the National Cemetery of Korea and paid homage to the fallen Korean soldiers who died in the Korean independence movement, Korean and Vietnam War. The memorial entombs remains of 1,65,000 war veterans. And for more on this, we'll go across to our correspondent Akhilesh Suman, who is joining us from Seoul. Akhilesh, what were the important takeaways from the meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and South Korean President Moon Jae-in today?
You know, Smriti, this is one of the major places where Prime Minister has visited twice. And in 4 years, if he is visiting twice, that it means that he has reinforced confidence in South Korea, and South Koreans, by inviting him, have also reinforced confidence in India. And India is emerging as an alternative market and destination for investment than China now. So I think this is one of the major takeaways, that South Korea is choosing India as a major destination for its investment. And that is why, you know, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Moon Jae-in have decided that yes, we can increase the bilateral trade by $50 billion by 2030. So it is one of the major, you know, takeaways, because what India needs to make in India, and most of these investments and trades will be coming in Make in India program that will give employment to the people of the country, and also, you know, that bilateral research, startup, innovation, everything will be packaged with this. So I think this is one of the major takeaways. Another takeaway is that you know, India and South Korea are going to cooperate in defense sector, co-production of, you know, defense equipments, and that's also one of the major things, that you have confidence, generated confidence over South Korea without any political hiccup, and South Korea has also developed its confidence on India. So defense co-production with technology transfer is another takeaway. And the third, you can say that the confidence of Koreans, people-to-people contact between India and Korea has increased. You can sense when you come in South Korea now that yes, South Koreans now respect Indians. Indians also feel comfortable in South Korea, even when there are differences of languages, but our culture had been the same once upon a time. So I think these are the three major people-to-people confidence, you know, defense co-production, and also bilateral trade. That is the three major takeaway from this meeting, visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and summit level meeting with President Moon Jae-in. Smriti?
All right, Akhilesh, you stay on with us. So we'll come back to you for more inputs on that development from Seoul. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi was also conferred with the prestigious Seoul Peace Prize for 2018. The award was presented to him by the Seoul Peace Prize Foundation for his contribution to the growth of Indian and global economies, crediting Modinomics for reducing social and economic disparity between the rich and the poor. The committee also credited him for his contribution towards regional and global peace through a proactive policy with countries around the world. Dedicating the award to Indians living in the country and abroad, the Prime Minister said the Seoul Peace Prize is a recognition of hard work of all the Indians.
On that behalf, I humbly accept the award and express my gratitude. This award is a recognition of the philosophy that has given the message of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, which means The entire world is one family. The award is for the culture that has given the message of peace even on the battlefield, as Lord Krishna gave the teachings of Bhagavad Gita during the battle in the Mahabharata. This award is for a land where we are taught Om Dayo Shanti, Brahma Shanti, Sarvagum Shanti, Shanti, Evam Shanti, Sama Shanti Edi, Om Shanti, 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 which means may there be peace everywhere, in the sky, in the space, all over planet, in nature. May there be eternal peace, and this award is for the people who have always put societal good above individuals' ambitions.
And we'll go back to Akhilesh Suman to get more information on this. Akhilesh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was conferred with the prestigious Seoul Peace Prize for 2018. What is the significance of this award for India?
You know, Smriti, this is one recognition, you can say, that inclusive growth. And one inclusive growth, that means that, you know, the large population of India has come under direct benefit, that whatever, you know, welfare schemes are being launched by India, they are going to the poorest of the people. And also the various schemes that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has launched in India, it has been recognized, you know, internationally and also by Seoul Peace Foundation. So it is in a way that recognition that how India is growing, not only some percentage of people are growing, but also the government and the people of India are trying to make it inclusive so that the people at large should be benefited from you know, overall development. One thing. Other thing that, you know, at a time when, you know, that the world is confronting the menace of terrorism, world is confronting from the monopolistic and hegemonistic tendencies in Indo-Pacific region, in the world is facing the trade wars. At this point of time, the whole position of India had been stabilizing, whether it is the area of international trade, whether it is area of power balance, and whether it is the area of, you know, the creating an atmosphere where different parties can talk together for establishing peace in the region. And that is why I think India's Act East policy has been a major, you know, attention of all over the world, and that world has recognized that India Act East policy has given, you know, stability in the Indo-Pacific region, ASEAN region, you know, Far East Asian region. So I think this is a recognition of one that politically, strategically, you have reached out to the various countries of the world to create a stability and peace in the region, and also for inclusive growth in your own country. So development with peace is the major, you know, recognition of India, and that is in the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And it is really heartening to see that your Prime Minister is receiving a Seoul Peace Prize. You know, Smriti, it is really heartening to see.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Akhilesh, for getting us all the ground zero report from Seoul. So remember, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today received the prestigious Seoul Peace Prize for 2018. This is in recognition of his service for the international cooperation, global growth and human development. Moving on to some more developments. In the aftermath of the Pulwama terror attack, the Supreme Court directed Chief Secretaries and DGPs of 11 states to take prompt and necessary action to prevent incidents of threat, assault and social boycott of Kashmiris. A bench headed by Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi directed that police officers who were earlier appointed as nodal officers to deal with incidents of mob lynching would now be responsible to deal with cases of alleged assault on Kashmiris. The bench also asked the Ministry of Home Affairs to give publicity to the nodal officers so that they can be approached by those facing such incidents. Supreme Court was hearing a petition seeking protection for Kashmiris living across the country amid reports of harassment and attacks after last week's Pulwama attack on CRPF Jawans. And in a strong show of international solidarity and support for India, the United Nations Security Council on Thursday condemned the Pulwama terror attack in strongest terms. The press statement issued by the most powerful United Nations body has named the Pakistan-based terror group Jaish-e-Mohammed, headed by Masood Azhar, for the heinous and cowardly suicide bombing. It has stressed on the need to hold organizers and financiers of such reprehensible acts accountable and bring them to justice. The UNSC also called on the global community to cooperate actively with the Indian government in holding the organizers and sponsors of such attacks accountable. The UNSC members expressed their deepest sympathy and condolences to the families of the victims. 40 CRPF personnel were martyred in a suicide bombing in Jammu and Kashmir's Pulwama on February 14th, on February 14th, 2019. Jaish-e-Mohammed has claimed the responsibility for the attack. And Pakistan on Thursday banned the 2008 Mumbai attack mastermind Hafiz Saeed-led Jamaat-ud-Dawa and its charity wing Falah-e-Insaniyat Foundation. Pakistan's move came amid intense global pressure to rein in the militant groups following the Pulwama terror attack in which 40 CRPF soldiers were martyred. The decision to ban these groups was taken during a meeting of the National Security Committee chaired by Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan. Earlier, the two outfits were kept on the watch list of the Pak's Interior Ministry. The JuD is believed to be the front organization for the Lashkar-e-Toiba, which is responsible for carrying out the Mumbai terror attack that killed 166 people. And with that, time for a very quick break. More news and updates on the other side. Stay with us.
Mihir Sen, an outstanding and extraordinary saltwater swimmer of India. He is the first Asian to swim the English Channel way back in 1958. And just 8 years later, in 1966, he swam the 7 seas of the 5 continents in 1 calendar year, which etched his name in the Guinness Book of World Records. In 1959, he was also conferred the Padma Shri, and in 1967, he was awarded the Padma Bhushan.
Art arisen from a multi-hued cultural canvas. Tradition and cultural fervour dating back centuries. And encircling them all, there's a magic that awes. Embrace your nation's brilliant human warmth. Watch Colours of India, Sundays at 9:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. President Ram Nath Kovind and Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu presided over the 18th anniversary celebrations of Swarna Bharat Trust at Nellore. Both attended the program arranged in connection with the anniversary of Trust at Venkatachalam. Addressing the gathering, President Kovind said technology can help the agriculture sector to grow rapidly. At the event, Vice President called for inclusive development for India's growth. He said the fruit of development should reach each and every section of the society. He added that the nation should become a golden country where there is no discrimination on the basis of caste, gender or religion.
Friends, as I said earlier, the ideals of Gandhiji are still relevant and will always remain relevant. However, With changing times, it is important to renew the methods to achieve those ideals. In this regard, and in our endeavor to enhance the quality and dignity of life and work for those of our people who reside in villages and toil on farms, technology can be a great enabler.
India was known as a golden age during Gupta's period, Chandragupta Maurya, Chanakya, we are all aware of the history. Our wish is to see that India becomes again a golden country, where there is no hunger, where there is no poverty, where there is no discrimination on the basis of caste, religion or region or gender, and see to it that all people think positively, then country will move faster. I am happy today the country is moving forward and becoming one of the largest economies in the world. Along with that, the development must be inclusive. We must see that the fruits of development reach each and every section. That is the purpose, and I hope that people who are all there in the society.
And CBI has issued lookout circulars against former ICICI Bank Chief Executive and Managing Director Chanda Kochhar and her husband Deepak Kochhar and Videocon Group's Venugopal Dhoot. The development comes weeks after the Enforcement Directorate registered a criminal case against them for alleged money laundering, while lookout circulars were issued against Deepak Kochhar and Venugopal Dhoot for all airports across the country after the preliminary inquiry last year. It is the first time a circular has been issued against Chanda Kochhar in the case. An FIR was registered last month against Kochhar for her alleged involvement in extending a loan by the ICICI of 3,250 crore rupees to Videocon Group. And CBI has registered a preliminary inquiry against unidentified officials of Uttar Pradesh Public Service Commission on charges of nepotism during Mayawati's rule in 2010. The preliminary inquiry is based on a complaint from the Yogi government in the state. It is alleged in the complaint that some unidentified people, including officials of the UP PSC, committed irregularities and misconduct in the examination for about 250 posts of additional private secretaries in 2010. It is also alleged in the complaint favors were granted to undeserving candidates, some of whom did not even fulfill the minimum eligibility criteria. Some more developments. The Employees Provident Fund organization has hiked the interest rate on Provident Fund by 0.1%. The EPFO has raised interest rate to 8.65% for 2018-19. The interest rate for 2017-18 was 8.55%. The EPFO had earlier reduced the interest rate in 2016-17 to 8.65% from 8.8% in 2015-16. The move would benefit over 6 crore employees. The decision was taken in a meeting of EPFO's Central Board of Trustees. It will now be sent to the Finance Ministry for approval. International developments now. Pope Francis has said that the world expects concrete measures to tackle child sexual abuse by priests and not only simple and obvious condemnations. At a summit to discuss the scandals that have rocked the Roman Catholic Church, he said the cries of the little ones seek justice had to be heard. He offered senior Catholic leaders 21 proposals to punish predators and keep children safe and warned that the faithful are demanding concrete action and not just words. The tone for the high-stakes 4-day Vatican summit was set at the start, with victims from 5 continents, Europe, Africa, Asia, South America and North America, telling the bishops of the trauma of their abuse and the additional pain the Church's indifference caused them.
The 21 points given to us by the Holy Father this morning are very important because, first of all, they are a roadmap for our discussion. They are very, very concrete. And so it's an understatement to say that they have to be taken seriously. That's utter understatement. We're going to discuss those, and even if there are things that have not been discussed enough, they're going to be part of the follow-up to the meeting.
And a top-level meeting of Board of Control for Cricket in India is underway to discuss the issue of banning Pakistan from participating in the upcoming World Cup. The BCCI prepared a draft letter asking the ICC to ban Pakistan from participating in the upcoming World Cup in the wake of the Pulwama attack. The draft is overseen by Committee of Administrators Chairman Vinod Rai, who asked BCCI CEO Rahul Johri to write a letter to the ICC. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court on Thursday appointed former Apex Court Judge Justice D.K. Jain as the first court-appointed ombudsman and Lieutenant General Ravi Thogde as third member of the Committee of Administrators for BCCI. COA is a report to the Supreme Court has said that there was a need for appointment of an ombudsman and an ethics officer at the earliest in BCCI. And the International Olympic Committee decided to suspend all discussions with India regarding hosting of global sporting events after Pakistani shooters were not issued a visa for the World Cup in New Delhi. The IOC also revoked the Olympic qualification status for the men's 25 meters rapid-fire event from New Delhi World Cup due to denial of visas to the Pakistani shooters. The IOC said it will not allow India to organize Olympic-related events in future unless written assurances are obtained from the government. The IOC's decision comes hours after International Shooting Sport Federation President Vladimir Lisin announced that all the allotted 16 Olympic quotas for the 2020 Games would be scrapped. However, the apex body limited the withholding of quotas to only 2 while retaining 14. And that's all we have for you in this edition. Thank you for watching.